I'm a lifelong Xbox user that just got a Nintendo Switch 2 about 2 months ago, and I've been absolutely shocked by this thing. So in this video, I'm going to be going over the things that I love the most about it, as well as the things that are kind of making me think twice about the purchase. So let's go ahead and jump straight into the video. So it's been about 2 months since I've been using the Nintendo Switch 2. It's my first ever handheld, and as a new dad that works 9 to 5, has a puppy, newborn, and still tries to keep up on his active lifestyle, I've actually been putting this thing to use quite a lot, and I've actually found some major pros that fit my lifestyle, as well as some kind of cons that have kind of turned me off in a way. But overall, this thing has been great, and hopefully this video can help you guys make that buying decision on whether or not you want to pull the trigger and get it, add it as a complimentary console, or use it as a standalone console and kind of go minimal and get rid of the other noise that's been kind of blocking your gaming style. So let's go ahead and get into the biggest pros of this thing. After the initial unboxing and just new console excitement went away, testing it head to head against my PS5 and Xbox Series S, I think the biggest pro here is portability. I've never owned a handheld console, never really been interested in them, but as I became a new dad and just my life has gotten super busy over the last few months, I found little to no time to kind of just sit down and enjoy a gaming session, and this has kind of brought me back to gaming, and believe it or not, it's actually helped me kind of game a lot more on the PS5 and Series S, just because I'm more aware of my time and how limited it is. So I'm able to balance things a lot more, and the fact that I can take the Nintendo Switch 2 on the go, play it in places that I normally wouldn't play it during times that I normally wouldn't play, has absolutely been a game changer for my current lifestyle. And I know a lot of you guys are dads as well in the comments. Guys, this thing is an absolute game changer if you're a dad. It's an absolute game changer if you travel a lot for work or for leisure. It's just an absolute game changer if you're low on time. College people, high school people, whatever your lifestyle, if you're kind of short on time, this thing's going to be an absolute game changer for you. That alone should be a selling point and have you adding it to the cart or having you run to the store to pick it up. So on the topic of portability, I recently added something that boosted that, and that is the Arzopa ZF3C portable monitor. This is one of their most portable monitors. It's 9.3 millimeters thin, super lightweight, and it's completely made out of metal with a matte finish, giving you guys the peace of mind that this thing isn't going to break on you, especially if you have kids like me spilling things. This thing is going to last you quite a long time, so you can rest assured that this thing isn't going to break on you, especially if you travel or on the go. For me, I've been using it for gaming as a separate monitor, completely away from my desk setup, because I like to keep those two things separate. And it's super nice because when I'm taking a break from working, I can quickly jump on this thing with a Switch 2 and get my gaming fix in. And even though I haven't been using it for productivity with my Mac Mini, I like the fact that I can when I need to. The 2.5K display with 180 hertz is absolutely insane, and that's kind of why I primarily use it for gaming, because this portable monitor, believe it or not, is actually better than my current desk monitor. So now I have a fully portable, fully rugged, dedicated monitor that I use for gaming, and it's super quick and easy to set up. I store it away in my backpack whenever I'm done using it, but sometimes it just kind of stays on my desk. So for being a busy dad that doesn't have a ton of time, the fact that I can just pull this out super easily, set it up, and get going is awesome. Or it's sleek enough and looks nice enough that I can just leave it on my desk. Metal stand gives me confidence that this thing isn't just going to fall over and break, and the included cables for the display are high quality and braided, so they're not going to rip or get tangled, etc. All in all, having this dedicated portable monitor for my Nintendo Switch 2 to game on, de-stress, unwind, and really separate work and gaming whenever I have a chance has been an absolute game changer. And like I said, for those quick sessions, already having it set up on the desk and having a dedicated display for gaming has just been an absolute game changer. And that's why I'm recommending it to you guys. If you guys have been in the market for one of these, if you guys travel a lot, don't have a current display, or kind of want to have a setup like me where you kind of separate work and gaming, this is definitely the monitor for you guys. So I'm going to have a link in the description and comment so you guys can pick one up, and I'm pretty sure they're on sale for the Prime deal, so definitely check it out. And thanks to Arzopa for sending this over. This is definitely being incorporated into my regular daily use for gaming. The next biggest pro is just the design and build quality of this thing. You're getting a 7.9 inch, 120 hertz screen on this handheld console that does not feel flimsy at all. It actually feels premium quality. It doesn't feel like it's janky and gonna break on you. The fact that you're getting high quality 1080p on this nice, big, vibrant, vivid screen is absolutely mind blowing. And the fact that games such as Fortnite, the Lego Fortnite, Nintendo Switch 2 optimized games such as Zelda Breath of the Wild, Donkey Kong Bonanza, these games are gonna look absolutely absolutely breathtaking at the tip of your fingers, which is absolutely crazy. And for the people that are buying it for the portability, you're not gonna miss out on any of the visuals, on any of the quality, and you're gonna be able to use it wherever you want to. So that alone there is absolutely insane to me. I feel like the Nintendo Switch 2 hit it out of the park, and they're gonna hit such a bigger, wider demographic with this console. As I'm seeing a lot of the feedback in the comments, so many people that normally wouldn't pick up a Switch or a handheld have picked one up and actually have made this their main console. For me, it's definitely one of the ones that I use the most out of the PS5, Xbox Series S, and the Switch. So just having a nice big display, vibrant display, and getting like these next gen graphics handheld is absolutely insane. And you can also dock it when you have a little more time, get the 4K quality output, nice refresh rate. You're still getting that like PS5, Xbox Series like quality on your TV, as well as almost sort of at the tip of your fingertips. So it's a win-win. It's kind of like the do-it-all console in my opinion. The next biggest pro from someone coming off of Xbox as a lifelong user and now recently exploring the PlayStation 5 game library and just ecosystem in general, you're not going to be compromising whatsoever in terms of game library and just games that you can play. So many cross-platform games that go over to the Nintendo Switch 2 ecosystem are easily accessible. They're super easy just to download and play. And if you wait for them to go on sale, you're going to get a good deal. So that alone there is a big pro. You're not really missing out too much on those PlayStation 5, Xbox Series exclusives, because the fact that a lot of these are cross-gen. Now, there are some that are exclusive to those consoles, so you kind of do have to kind of pick and choose, but you're going to have endless amounts of games that are pretty affordable, excluding the Nintendo exclusive games. But other than that, game library and prices, they're pretty fair, they're pretty competitive, and honestly, just if you just wait for a really good deal, you're going to be able to get all the games you want at decent prices. You're not really going to miss out much in terms of like the games that you want to play. Now, let's get into the drawbacks. First and foremost, if you're doing long stints of travel and you want to play it for long amounts of time handheld, you're going to get anywhere between 2.5 to 5 hours of battery life, depending on the game. Maybe less than that 2.5 mark if you're playing a crazy optimized Nintendo Switch 2 game, maybe like the Cyberpunks, Bonanza, any of those Nintendo Switch 2 games that use a lot of power. That's going to drain your battery super quick, so it is kind of a downside, but there are workarounds, portable chargers, battery packs, some cases even charge it. But to me, it hasn't really been a major issue, but I can definitely see it being an issue for a lot of people. Now, some people play this thing primarily docked, so it's not going to be an issue at all, but it's something to consider and maybe look into getting a power source solution if that's going to be your case and situation. Next biggest downside is the storage. You are going to need an additional SD card and some sort of funky SD card that costs a lot of money right now, but to me, I would say it's definitely worth it. I have a link in the description for an Amazon link that bundles the Switch 2 with a memory card, and that's the bundle that I got, and I've absolutely loved the fact that I already have an external SD card to fit those other games, because a lot of games do take up a ton of storage. Think of the Fortnites, Apex Legends, and with rumors of Call of Duty coming pretty soon, your storage is going to fill up quick, so I highly recommend you guys get another SD card, and that's why I'm kind of putting it in the downsides. The storage, you're always going to need more storage, so I highly recommend you guys getting extra storage right off the bat if you're able to. Now, another huge major con goes back to the game library, and that is the Nintendo Switch 2 exclusives. The prices on those games is absolutely insane. You're looking at $70 to $80 to maybe even $90. I can't quite recall, but the games are insanely expensive, and it's honestly a big barrier to entry. That's why I haven't really pulled the trigger on some of those Nintendo Switch 2 exclusives, such as Mario Kart World, the Bonanza full game. I'm currently playing the demo just because they're so stinking expensive, and I kind of want to play other games handheld in the meantime. I can get maybe 4 to 5 games, no exaggeration, if they're on sale for the price of one Nintendo Switch 2 game. Now, one Nintendo Switch 2 game that I did pull the trigger on at full price was Pokemon Pokopia. First ever game I'm playing of its kind, first ever kind of Pokemon since I was a kid, and I've absolutely been loving it, and it's absolutely worth it. But also, you got to kind of budget and pick and choose what games you want to play. Nintendo Switch 2 exclusives, definitely a huge downside when it comes to the pricing, and it makes it kind of a barrier to entry. Now, let's talk about graphics. Graphics are absolutely insane, and they're really good, but they're not going to compare to a PS5 or Xbox Series X, which is kind of a downside. So if you're a cinematic story mode type of person and want the best of the best graphics, you're definitely not going to get that from this console. So I'm putting it in as a downside, because I still find myself reaching for the PS5 when I want to play those beautiful, breathtaking games such as God of War Ragnarok, Horizon Forbidden West, Ghost of Tsushima, games like that where you're just kind of super immersed. You're still going to want that higher end performance, so that's kind of why it's going in the downsides. But again, many people don't really care about that, so you're not gonna really feel all that much pain. But if you've already kind of dipped into those cinematic, beautiful, breathtaking looking games like I have on the PS5, you're definitely still gonna want that from time to time, so pick and choose. So after 2 months of real usage with the lifestyle that I live, this has been a perfect companion console for my PS5 and Xbox Series S. At one point I thought of getting rid of the PS5 and Xbox, but as of now it's just going to be that complementary console, as I find myself using each when I have allotted time slots for them. And after 2 months, the recommendation that I can make to you guys is kind of analyze your lifestyle, what you do more of, what you see yourself playing more of, and make your buying decision based off of that. Either add it as a companion console, as a standalone console, or just get rid of everything else you have and go all in on this thing. It's not going to be a bad decision whatever way you decide to go. Everyone's different, everyone lives different lifestyles, and that's totally fine. As long as you're able to de-stress and get some gaming in, that's what it's all about. And the final verdict, would I recommend this thing? Absolutely. The price is a little steep, but I would still recommend it for everyone looking into this thing, for everyone that wants to dip their toes into their first ever handheld, first ever Nintendo ecosystem console. Definitely worth the price range. And with all the pros mentioned, I would stop hesitating and buy it straight away. Trust me, I've been a lifelong Xbox user, almost fanboy, casual gamer, and I've absolutely been blown away by this thing, and I found myself using it a lot more than I thought I would. So you guys have my word. It's absolutely worth every single penny. And with that being said, more videos to come on the channel about the Switch 2, Xbox Series S, and PlayStation 5, and maybe other handhelds coming in the future. So hit that like button and hit that subscribe button, guys. Catch you guys in the next one.